have all been waiting for, an evening with social media stars moderated by George Fulton. Please give them a big hand. George Fulton first came to Pakistan in 1997 and returned in 2002 as a BBC producer for Question Time and Hard Talk Pakistan for BBC. He again returned in 2003 at a time when President Musharraf was liberalizing the media and joined GEO. He also wrote and presented Pakistan's first reality travel log, George Ka Pakistan. He followed this up by producing and writing the satirical news quiz, News Views, and Confused, before finding himself as the presenter of Aaj TV's Kiran or George morning show. He currently runs a digital content platform called Desi George. Please give them a big hand. Assalamu alaikum, please.
Thank you.
Hello, nice to meet you. Hello.
Hello, mic check, testing. Okay.
Hello, check, tis.
Hello. Okay, cool.
Chup karo.
Sorry.
Okay, hello and welcome, Assalamu alaikum everybody, to hopefully a hour of lots of fun. My Pele Mehman is General Bajwa, sorry, Amtul Baweja.
I am actually General Bajwa.
Okay, Baweja. Okay.
Thank
And she is obviously comedian, content creator, and runs a travel account called Patangir. Is that right?
Patangir. Yeah.
Patangir. And you were part of South Asia's first comedy female troupe called
All-female
the
comedy troupe,
Kawatoons.
Khawatoons, yes. So cartoons, Khawatoons.
Kawatoons.
Yeah.
Hamara Agle Mehman, Agla or Ugly Mehman, is Danish Ali, who is comedian.
Hi.
And is extremely popular on Facebook and YouTube, and less popular at home.
मिसेस पीछे आई हुई हैं तो जोर से ताली.
And my final guest is a chartered accountant and risk manager at Adam G Insurance, Mr. Ali Gulpir.
अच्छी पॉलिसी लेनी है तो मुझसे राब्ता करें.
Okay, so my Pele question is, what makes you do this? Why do you put yourself out there to be humiliated, to be commented upon, to be subject to ridicule and remarks? Why do you do it?
बिजली महंगी है बस मतलब
That's a question we
Money.
ask ourselves every day. Intense. Tough question. What do you guys think?
असली जवाब चाहिए या? Okay. It's because I didn't know this could be a career. I thought being a class clown is just a way to be popular and fit in and be accepted. And then as I grew older, I realized it could be a career. And then I said, I'll try it. And it worked out. It's simple.
Yeah, I think with me, it was a gradual journey. I started out with acting, and then after acting, I thought that I want to do something more, because honestly, with acting in Pakistan, the roles are very limited, especially for women. Wohi, Rona, Dhona, Saas, Bahu, drama. So I was like, I want to do something different, and that's what I think led me towards comedy, because through comedy, I could say things that I wanted to say. I could play characters that I wanted to play, and that weren't limited to stereotypical roles for women.
So what did you want to say?
On the side,
What did you want to say?
Oh, what did I want to say? A lot of things, you know, like for example, like recently I made a video on lingerie, you know, like about menstruation, periods, like so many things that women want to talk about, and there's nobody out there to talk about them. But of course, with the hint of comedy and humor, and especially with the characters I wanted to play, like the characters were always like, oh, there's a love triangle, and you're the sister, and you know your cousin is in love with you, and that's it. And I'm like, I don't want to play this anymore, you know. But with my comedy and like with the sketches I make and everything, I can play anything I like. Like I can play a mechanic, or I can play a milkman if I want, or I can play a detective or a police wala or anything, right? I don't have to stick to just the sister or the love interest of the guy. Like, no, don't want to do that, you know.
And Danish, way.
I think I'll just echo what Amtul said. I mean, it's now just a job. Now, पहले तो था कि जब मैंने शुरू किया था, क्योंकि मैं बहुत डायनासोर की एज से, जब वो टी-रेक्स घूम रहा था उस वक्त की उम्र से मैं कर रहा हूँ ये, तो वो इट वाज के बहुत नीश फील्ड था, कम लोग थे. बट नाउ आई एम श्योर इस ऑडियंस में आई एम श्योर कुछ टिकटॉकर्स, इन्फ्लुएंसर्स, व्लॉगर्स बैठे हुए होंगे. इट्स जस्ट बिकम ए नदर जॉब. एंड आई थिंक ऑल्सो रिश्ते के तौर पे ये मेरा गेज होता है. रिश्ते के हवाले से पहले होता था ना कि आपका बेटा आर्टिस्ट है या चैनल पे आता है तो यूट्यूब चलाता है, तो इट वाज मे बी नॉट सच a nice thing. लेकिन आजकल जो है media is a very accepted field, so I think it's just become another job, which is a nice thing for Pakistan. And also I think they just announced free taxes for IT freelancers, so that's something, I don't know. So
And you fall under that?
I don't know, अगर यहाँ कोई tax lawyer बैठा है तो बाद में समझा लीजिएगा.
Will-
So we can get free taxes.
Ali the accountant will help.
Thank you.
Okay, so do you know what's going to work when you filmed it? Like Danish, your film, your Rishta film. Do you remember that, where the Rishta? Did you know it was going to be a hit?
No, क्योंकि I make a video every week and you never know कि कौन सा चलेगा. I had an idea that it is one of my more viral videos, लेकिन you never know. In fact, मैंने upload करके I didn't realize it would get 150 million views on Facebook. Like I uploaded it और हम लोग camping चले गए. And I really saw it 2 days later and I was just like, अच्छा ये तो, and then it kept going. But तो I think it's the same with my left and my right. आप लोग दोनों भी videos बनाते होंगे जो, is it the same for you guys? वैसे कि did you know beforehand that Vadere का बेटा was the one?
No, I mean, you just keep on, you do your best and you try to be true to yourself and not be like formula, ye formula agar
Ali, you
chalega.
said one thing ke they're all your babies if you can. I like that line you said.
Yeah, so you know, everybody asks ke kaun sa aapka favorite gana hai ya video, and as a content creator, you feel like they're all your babies, and you can't pick a favorite without offending the other kids. Like if I come up to you, George, and I say, दोनों बच्चों में से एक मैं ले जाऊंगा, would you? It won't be an easy thing for you to decide, right?
Yeah,
You'll be like,
conversation
probably
कहाँ
you'll be
लेके
like, दोनों ले जाओ.
No, very easy, very easy. I have a favorite.
You're like, oh,
I know
ले
sometimes
जाओ,
in
पाल लेना.
content ये भी होता है कि कभी-कभी मतलब कभी-कभी जब कम मेहनत करते हैं वो ज़्यादा वायरल हो जाती है वीडियो. Like that's what's happened with me a lot of times. Like I'm like हाँ बस एक आइडिया है जल्दी से कर दो, ज़्यादा नहीं सोचो, ज़्यादा प्रोडक्शन ना करो, बस फ़ोन से बना के कर दो, and then that goes viral, you know, that goes crazy and you're like, oh अच्छा फिर मुझे मेहनत करनी नहीं चाहिए ये, you know, ये कैसे हो गई इतनी famous. So you can never tell basically, that's the thing.
I guess there, for any aspiring vloggers, future big YouTubers, influencers out here, I will tell you that 50% is luck. So 50% is your skill and your trade and your craft, but unfortunately there is a bit of luck involved. So I think if you can keep going, you never know when you'll get lucky. There is unfortunately a bit of that as well.
Okay,
True.
when you're creating content for your audience, do you have an audience in mind, or are you just creating it for yourself? Is it whatever makes you laugh, whatever tickles your funny bone, or do you have like a a target audience in your mind?
I think for me, it's me first. Yeah, I put myself first that what would I like to watch as an audience member, right? Like, what are the things I want to talk about? And then you kind of attract those kinds of people only, because I feel like if you create to please people, then you're going to be lost. Who will you please? Oh, should I please those people? That people? No. You have to first create for yourself whatever you believe in, whatever you want to talk about, and then eventually you're going to start attracting those kinds of people only who relate to it, you know, who want to watch that kind of content, and then they'll stay there, you know, then they'll stay engaged with it, and they'll stick around. So that's what happened with me.
I think it's the opposite for me. I definitely, it is my interest to see what will get more views. So there's definitely a filter for me where there are some ideas that I wanted to do but I know wouldn't go viral. So for me, I was like, I won't make them because yeah, I do sadly need the views. That's just the honest truth for me. So there's a bit of that. I mean, obviously it works best when both worlds succeed. Ke it's something you wanted to make, like misal ke taur pe, I got mugged for the first time in January.
Sorry about that.
No, yeah. The muggers had the same thing, just like that, the same exact look. But no, so I wanted to make a funny video out of it now. So I thought that would be viral and it would be personal to me. So I wanted to make a love song about how my mobile phone left me for another man or something like that. So, you know that.
Yeah, for me, it's, it is for the people, because I do, like, I'll see news about something and it'll make me angry, and then I'll write a song about it.
Yeah.
Or if I see something stupid on a drama, I'll make a funny video about it. And if I read like a news saying that there are a lot of cousin marriages in Pakistan, then I'll be like, okay, let's make a love song for those cousins, and I'll make a song called, you know, Cousin Dozen. So yeah, I think the audience and the exterior part of it is very important in my process, because there has to be a lot of stupidity around me for me to make fun of it.
Yeah.
And luckily there is.
But Ali, you're slightly different from Danish in that you're often making
Sindhi. What?
you're making fun of real people.
Yeah.
Like, and recently you did a thing with Essen as Essen Khan Anglesi accent.
Yeah.
TK, and you were like doing a spoof of that.
Yeah.
And he was very receptive. He wrote a nice comment. He liked it.
Yeah.
But do you ever like worry about reactions from people, real people, and you think, oh, should I do this or not?
Yeah, the good thing is that I like nationalist Hindi parties were angry at me for Vade Ka Beta, politicians were angry at me for this and that, and then some Maulvis were angry at me for some other song. So I've been through that, and now I'm facing a case in court for this stupid pop star.
Can we mention his name? No, we can't.
So I'm used to it. I think if you're gonna say something honest and you're gonna speak your mind, then you're gonna tick off a few people, and that's part of the job. And so I don't really think about it now. No.
Okay, are there any videos any three of you have made that you've never released? And I'm not talking about those kind of videos, but I'm talking about your social media videos.
देख के delete कर लेना.
No.
Yeah.
No, actually, a lot of times. Like,
100.
I have.
Hundreds.
Yeah, because a lot of times you doubt yourself. Like, is this funny enough? You know, is this cringy? Like, I sometimes look at my own content and I cringe. And I'm like, oh, what am I doing? What faces am I making? So
You should look at yourself now.
Yeah. So I think there are a lot of times when we doubt ourselves too. Like, we're not sure if it's funny enough. A lot of times I release a video and I'm not sure if it's funny enough. Sometimes I'll hit the upload button, but sometimes I'm like, okay, no, let it be in the drafts. I'll think over it. I'll sleep over it. And even now, I have a lot of videos in my drafts just lying
I'll
there.
give you guys an example of a video that you never saw but I made. So I got one of the sort of premier, most famous actress models in Pakistan at the time, and she agreed to be in one of my videos, so I thought this would be great. And in my head, I thought it'd be fantastic if I could show the story of an actual fish in Karachi. And so I went and bought a giant actual fish that I kept in an ice box for 3 days. And I filmed with this actress, you know, and like I acted as the fish. And this fish stank up my whole house. And I was like, I was convinced it would be great. And then once I edited it, I realized it wasn't that funny. And so I think to this day that actress doesn't pick up my call because for 3 days she was filming with a dead fish. And so this is just an example of content that we didn't release. But yeah, I'm sure people have other
you
examples.
could call her and be like, this time is different. It's with a chuha.
No, yeah.
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 I like it.
Although that's the second time I actually filmed with her and it didn't work. So,
Oh, no.
so it does happen. That it's just, if it's not funny, it's not funny.
She was thinking कि ये दानिश अपने लिए videos बनाता है. अपना कोई fetish.
Ali, has there been any videos unreleased from Ali Gulpir?
They're half-written songs, and I don't complete something if I don't think it's worth completing. You know, like if I halfway through if I think that this is not gonna work, it's not gonna translate. And with humor, it's basically in your head it was funny, but when you're writing it, you're like, oh, it's not funny, and so then you just abandon it. I don't work that hard कि मैं पूरा बना दूँ. मैं
Or
कहता हूँ,
sometimes
"बस
it's
छोड़ो."
not like
Easy to
relevant
quit.
anymore. You know, you get late. Like a lot of times it happens with me. Like this, there'll be something trending, or I'm like, oh yeah, it's a trending topic. Let's make something on it, and you'll take so long making it. You're like, okay, it has to be perfect, and by the time you make it, it's like the time is gone. You know, so a lot of times you lose on that precious time, so it's not relevant anymore. You're like, okay, people have moved on. Nobody's gonna watch it. Nobody cares. Chalo, forget it.
There was this time I made a parody of this famous political pundit who's going through his, I think his 4th marriage or something, and so everyone knows who it is. And so I didn't release it because I realized that I was actually, I don't know, it felt in poor taste because there was a lot of personal things going on in that individual life, and it just didn't feel right. So I scrapped that video as well. Like I just.
Because you're not a cruel comedian. You don't have barbs.
Yeah.
You're-
No, definitely, I'd say my brand of humor, I think what I want to spread is maybe as cheesy as it sounds, positivity. I feel.
yeah, it
I felt
sounds
that-
cheesy.
Yeah. So there's some people could use it. So I feel like that is my push to the online space is a bit of feel goodness, just feel happy kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think as a comedian, when you get that message in your DMs, I was having a very crappy day, and I watched your video, and it made my day, it made me happy, made me smile, or just forget my problems for a moment, and that's the reward, I think, because we live in a country where continuously there's something or the other happens, and people are suffering, and it's not a easy time for a lot of people. So to bring happiness and laughter to a lot of people is amazing.
Now, all three of you are from Karachi, yeah?
Yep.
And big shout out for Karachi. Lekin Hamara city is the Taurus stepchild of Pakistan, you know. We're overtaxed, overburdened, and underrepresented. And I just wonder if that plays a role in the fact that, of your comedy. And perhaps Punjab doesn't produce as many, you know, social media satirists. Because they are plentiful and bountiful and drink lassi too much.
I mean, specifically in the point that strife will bring comedy, right? Like when there's difficulty, there's comedy. When there's restrictions, when there's kind of like people feel that way, you will have stories, right? The more stories you have, the sort of those become jokes. So yes, I think Punjab has great comedians. I wouldn't like. But yeah, I guess because of, say, the mobile chori culture in Karachi, we are more inclined to make mobile chore videos and so on and so forth. So yeah, to a certain extent, you know, when you make light, and if you can release something funny at the right time when everyone is feeling a certain way, and then you can point it out that, look, we should not feel this way, or this is bad, or this is good, but this is this funny message. So I feel humans on social media are like, yes, this is good. Like, we needed this, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I think for me, like, I make a lot of like women-centric comedy. So I think for us, you know, it's our way to deal with it also. Like, if you wanna talk about an issue or something happened. Like for me, it's like my way of communicating. Like you kind of, like you're dealing with it through comedy. You know, it's like kind of like a self mechanism. I don't know, but it's like, okay, this is a way that I can put to use and I can have a positive outcome. You know, my anger, whatever complaints I have, whatever I want to talk about, you know, things that are accessible to women. Women can't go out, they don't feel safe. Like I think I can at least channel it through a positive note through comedy. So I think we can do that.
At the same time, I think it's also a downside of social media in a way that if you don't talk about a trending topic, you might not necessarily get those number of views. So sometimes I feel art suffers because somebody might be out there who has this great idea, which is not necessarily something that's trending. So those ideas I wish could also be pushed forward. It's just that currently the algorithm so far on YouTube and Facebook, and they don't really, it doesn't get the same notice. So, like a dead fish, that's funny, right?
That's funny.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny.
I think ज़्यादा satire कराची से इसलिए आता है क्योंकि लाहौर की जो कॉमेडी है ना वो जुगत कॉमेडी है वो कॉमेडी उनकी जो लाइव स्टेज आप थिएटर देखेंगे तो उसमें अभी मोस्टली व्हेन यू स्विच थ्रू टीवी चैनल्स यू सी that comedy you know in news channels in the evening and that's more jugat मैं उसकी बजाऊंगा and I'll make fun of this guy or whatever and he'll make fun of me and that's just the exchange. But in Karachi, because it's so diverse that we have just very different reflective observational comedy there बहुत है you know so yeah so it's just that's
Okay.
different.
My next question is, obviously you're all social media stars. This by the way, the title of the evening is called An Evening with Social Media Stars.
You
An
want to
evening
take us home
with social media stars.
शाम तक जैसे रात होगी
It was a very bad title. Anyway, it's social. So my question is to you is, how much does the feedback you get from the audience influence your subsequent videos? And what is the meanest or funniest comment you've received from a fan or detractor?
I got one just the other day. You know what the really mean ones are? When it's a really educated person who took time out of his day to really explain to you why you are bad, like a bad human being, and just why you should suffer. Like
Sorry
this
about that.
guy really thought about it. Like he had a nice coffee in the morning, and he took a shower. He was thinking about what to say to me. He curated his comment. He did his research. He saw a lot of my videos and came to a rational conclusion of why I am horrible. So those are the ones that really, you know, if it's just like someone writes chus or something like that, you don't really think of it as much, right? It's just like, or they just write kide makode or, you know, so then you don't really take it seriously. But man, when you guys do your research, it's powerful. Like,
Amtul?
okay. ठीक है सॉरी मैंने शुरू उर्दू में ही किया था कोई रिस्पांस नहीं आया उर्दू ग्रुप से तो फिर मैं इंग्लिश बोलने शुरू हो गया हम उर्दू बिल्कुल बोल लेंगे
बहुत सारे आते हैं लाइक देयर सो मेनी ज़्यादातर तो मुझे ये आते हैं मतलब बेहुदा ये क्या शक्लें बना रही है ओवर एक्टर एंड आई एम लाइक कॉमेडी है तो ओवर एक्टिंग तो होगी ना लाइक हाउ कैन यू डू कॉमेडी लाइक दिस हाँ यार क्या कर रही हो हाँ मैं मतलब you have to have expressions, like you have to exaggerate, especially when you talk about satire, you have to like exaggerate it and over dramatize it to drive home that message or that point you're trying to make. लेकिन वो वही आता है इतनी आप ओवर एक्टिंग क्यों कर रही हैं इतनी शक्लें क्यों बना रही हैं you know तो इस तरह के because I feel like ये भी क्योंकि they're not used to seeing women like this who are very animated या बहुत शक्लें बना रही हैं या you know तो इस पे मुझे बहुत सारे आते हैं but and the other question that you ask how does it affect your other videos I try my best to take only the positive feedback कि जो बोल रहा है कि अच्छा ऐसा और बनाओ तो उस पर मैं फिर ज़्यादा मोटिवेशन लेती हूँ कि ओके दे वांट मोर ऑफ दिस यू नो तो वो आपको एक अंदर से दिलासा हो जाता है ओके पीपल वांट टू वॉच दिस यू नो दे आर पीपल हु रिलेट टू इट स्पेशली फॉर वुमेन लाइक देयर सो मेनी वुमेन अभी मैंने रिसेंटली एक लॉन्जरी वीडियो निकाली थी वो फनी वीडियो के टाइप्स ऑफ लॉन्जरी बायर्स राइट कि लड़कियाँ जाती हैं एक आपकी पुप्पो जाती हैं आपकी शादी होने वाली है वो आपकी खरीदने जाती है एक कन्फ्यूज सा हस्बैंड आते हैं लेने के लिए क्या खरीदना है सो आई portrayed all of different kinds of characters right and the response was amazing and I was like okay there is an audience out there who wants to see this kind of content that they can relate to. So I try कि positive ही मैं comments को note करूँ और फिर जो लोग कहते नहीं और ऐसा content बनाओ तो उसको फिर focus करते हुए then I try to create more of that kind of content. You know कि okay there is an audience out there who can relate to it.
By the way, I once went into a lingerie shop in Karachi, in Dolma Mall.
You were probably kicked out.
I was never been thrown out of a shop quicker.
Yeah, they was like, what are you doing here?
They were so shocked that a man was there. Ali,
शॉप के बाहर है ना बच्चे लेके मर्द हजरात खड़े होते हैं लाइन से if you notice सब बाहर खड़े होते हैं
It's a little sad, yeah.
so what about your comments? Have you had?
I've been मुझे किसी ने
Meanest.
बोला, सस्ता प्रभु देवा I think that's funny ये अच्छा था सस्ता ये एडजेक्टिव जरूरी था सस्ते हो तो प्रभु देवा भी नहीं हो उसका सस्ता हो बाकी input yeah I mean if feedback in terms of कि अली भाई ये वीडियो बना दें ये बहुत funny होगी yeah I'll consider that but comments no I don't really care for I don't read them I don't pay attention that's not where I get my feedback from because I don't get
Where do you get it from?
I just pat myself in the back and I'm like, yes, I did good, girl, you did good. नहीं, I just, for me it's like हर चौथे दिन, पांचवें दिन वीडियो लगानी है. So मेरा process में time ही नहीं है कि मैं comments में ज़्यादा involve हूँ. मेरे लिए it's like जाना है, एक दिन research करनी है, दूसरे दिन plan करना है, तीसरे दिन shoot करना है, और फिर कोई और काम करना है. So it's, for me it's, social media एक दुकान है, और उस दुकान में मैं अपना प्रोडक्ट लगाता हूँ लोग आते हैं देखते हैं ख़रीदते हैं मंजन और जाते हैं फॉर मी आई एम नॉट हियर टू मेक फ्रेंड्स एंड रीड कमेंट्स
वैसे आई थिंक अब जॉर्ज हमें आपसे भी सवाल पूछना चाहिए आप भी एक सोशल मीडिया इन्फ्लुएंसर हैं यूट्यूबर हैं तो आपको कमेंट्स कैसे लगते मतलब आपके कमेंट्स जो आते हैं उर्दू में आएंगे तो आपको वैसे पहली बात तो समझ नहीं आएगा
It's usually about मेरे टूटी फूटी उर्दू बहुत खराब and just to show you how bad my Urdu is that I got cut off once in traffic, and I wanted to call this guy. I wound down the window and I wanted to shout at him and call him Ulu Kapatta, but the language scrambled in my head, and I called him Alu Kaparata.
And he yelled back chutney. And then you just went and had aloo kabab.
Okay, we're going to make it slightly different now because I think it's बहुत interesting how these guys think, how they're creative, how they come up with their ideas for their videos.
George, sorry to cut you off, but एक बार मैंने comment देखा था आपकी कोई picture के नीचे और बंदे ने कहा था visa तो करा दो यार. I like thought white guy visa. ये दिलवाएगा.
मैंने जो वीडियो की थी जॉर्ज के साथ उसके नीचे कमेंट आया था गोरे को स्कैम करो ये लिखा है.
Okay, I'm going to change the subject now. Moving on. What I want from you guys out there is I want you to throw up a scenario, a situation, an idea, and so for example, if we said, you know, this is being sponsored by Oxford University Press. If I said Oxford University Press, I want these guys to try and come up with a way that they would make it a funny video about OUP. But that's just an idea, but I'm wanting to put it out to you guys to come up with a scenario, a situation, and we've got the mic guy here. And so yes, this gentleman over here. Just shout out one word or one phrase, sentence. Don't.
आप एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हो कि पेट्रोल 10 रुपए महंगा होगा और वो सस्ता हो जाए और आप एक दिन पहले टैंकी फुल कर लें.
Does anyone want to?
So I love how the petrol was such a pressing matter that you completely forgot about Oxford University Press, which is normal. Like petrol महंगा हुआ है. They're like, but Oxford, but petrol, but yeah, I get it. So, but. That's all I had to say. Sorry.
Any ideas?
But, you've done a video on petrol, right?
Yeah, so, no, but are we still on Oxford or are we on petrol now? Like,
No, you can do either.
okay, so if I'm doing one on petrol, first, what you want to do is you want to go to a place where, first of all, you want to avoid all the sort of things other people can think of. क्योंकि एक my mentor, Mr. Saad Harun, जो कि एक comedian है, उन्होंने तो I don't इसी पैनल पे काफ़ी लोगों के मेंटोर रहे हैं वो उन्होंने एक चीज़ बोली थी कि कमेडियंस जो हैं they show people a world that other people can't see but when they see it they understand it, you know, कि एक दुनिया दिखा दी जो और लोग नहीं देख सकते हैं. तो मेरा पहला काम ये होता है कि जो और लोग सोच सकते हैं उसको एक डब्बे में रख लो, उसके ऊपर नहीं बात करो. आप कोई ऐसी बात करो जो यूनिक हो दानिश अली के जहन में, जो सिर्फ मैं सोच सकता हूँ, लेकिन वो ऐसी दुनिया है जो अगर मैंने दिखा दिया तो वो लोगों को एकदम से क्लिक होगा, दे विल अप्रिशिएट इट. अब ये क्या है, काश मुझे पता होता तो फिर मैं ये वीडियो बना चुका होता. बट आई मीन दैट्स माई फर्स्ट थिंग कि मेक समथिंग that isn't instantly recognizable, क्योंकि comedy in a way is like a puzzle piece ना. मतलब आप एक joke जो है आप actually तो जो कहना चाह रहे हैं वो किसी ने सोचा नहीं है in a way, and when you come to that conclusion, ये थोड़ी मैंने गहरी बात कर ली, but what I'm trying to say is कि वो it becomes suddenly understandable and recognizable to the world at large कि yes, we didn't think of this is funny.
Yeah, I see like Oxford Press का board लगा हुआ है, नीचे एक बंदा है जिसका नाम है ऑक्सफोर्ड और वो कपड़े प्रेस करता है, you know? like Danish said, don't pick the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear Oxford Press. Think of the third thing that comes to your mind and make a joke about that.
You know we're never going to be invited back again after this. Okay, any other suggestions of ideas or scenarios or situations that you want these guys to try and think up of a video on the spot, or an idea for a video on the spot? Any suggestions? The mic over there. The gentleman over there. Mic guy.
Cricket stadium.
Cricket stadium.
So for me, I've noticed that there's a lot of ads in cricket. So one of the videos I've always wanted to make is कि पहले तो होता था ना कि बॉल के बीच में ad चलता है तो we don't know कि हो क्या रहा है मैच में because there's an ad playing. So I was like, then you know the pitch has branding, everything has branding. Pretty soon the ball will have branding, हर चीज़ में branding. तो I was like, क्यों नहीं वो pitch के दौरान ही बॉल के दौरान ही एक ad कर लें. That would be the next thing कि वो एक टेबल आ रही है और अम्मी डालडा लेके आ रही हैं और वो बॉलर को बोलिए बेटा अभी नहीं, पहले ये बैट्समैन को हम ये वाला ममता वाला जो है तेल इनको खिलाएंगे, इससे ये तंदुरुस्त और तवाना होंगे और जड़ी बूटियों के ज़रिए ये बॉल जो छक्का मारेंगे. You know, like why don't they just make the advertising part of the match? Like why stop with just like advertising where it is? So
Talking of advertising, as
or if you make an ad about the stadium, because the stadium जब cricket match नहीं हो रहा होता तो खाली है ना, तो उसको शादी हॉल बना दें या उसको वलीमा, आपका वलीमा क्रिकेट स्टेडियम में, you know, देखिए अंपायर उंगली उठाएगा निकाह हो जाएगा.
Yeah, I was literally thinking the same thing कि मतलब आप ये सोचेंगे कि क्रिकेट स्टेडियम में क्रिकेट के अलावा और क्या क्या हो सकता है, राइट? सो लिटरली मेरे दिमाग में ये था कि शादी करवा दें आप, क्योंकि हमारा वैसे ही मुल्क शादी से ऑब्सेस्ड है, यू नो, पूरे साल शादी होती रहती है. अब आप बोलें क्या आपको हॉल नहीं मिल रहा, क्या सारे हॉल बुकड है? क्रिकेट स्टेडियम, यहाँ पे आप अपनी शादी कर सकते हैं. कोई ये लिटरली लेजिट इशू है, मतलब नहीं मिलते हॉल्स पाकिस्तान में, कराची में. जब क्योंकि पहले हम कहते थे दिसंबर है शादी का महीना, बट अब तो पूरे साल शादी है, आपको जगह नहीं मिल रही, क्रिकेट स्टेडियम बुक करें, एंजॉय करें.
अच्छा जनाब, मैं अगर आपको ये पता चले कि नवाज शरीफ गए मेरे प्लेटलेट कभी कम नहीं हुए थे तो इमरान खान पे क्या गुजरेगी?
मेरी क्या कमी?
प्लेटलेट कभी कम नहीं हुए थे जिस रिपोर्ट पे वो लंदन खुशी खुशी गए थे, तो आप क्या कहेंगे कि इमरान खान को जो ने बेवकूफ़ बनाया?
okay, thank you, sir. Anything on that?
I don't really do political comedy, so I'm
Yeah,
going to
okay.
stay out of this one.
Take care.
At least 40.
Ali? Ali?
उसके प्लेटलेट्स ने बोला मुझे क्यों निकाला कम हो
Oh. Okay, we've done sort of scenarios. What about like stock characters? You know, doctors. I introduced Ellie as an accountant, or if you want to shout out any kind of profession or character, panwala, whatever the thing is, and see if they can come up with a video or an idea around that character. Anybody? Yes, this girl here. Yeah.
I want Amtul to play a Bengali Baba. Bengali Baba. Bengali क्यों भाई? उनके ज़्यादा अच्छे होते हैं
specific
It was
demand
very like
पता है?
you thought of this like.
अरे
बंगाली
Bengali
बाबा
बाबा।
जिसको 20 रुपए लोन मिला है अभी
बंगाली बाबा तो नहीं पता लेकिन मुझे बिहारी एक्सेंट करने में कोशिश कर रही हूँ अरे भैया कहाँ जा रहे हो अरे इधर तो आवत है कहाँ जावत है तो ये मैंने एक दो दफ़ा किया हुआ अपने इम्प्रोव में और हमेशा फेल हुआ है जैसे अभी फेल हुआ है क्योंकि मैं एक्सेंट्स पे बहुत बुरी हूँ बट थैंक्स फॉर दिस सजेशन बंगाली आई एम गोना वर्क ऑन इट नाउ सो थैंक यू फॉर दैट सजेशन
Okay. And what about Ali Gulpir to do the same? Yeah, good idea. Okay, great.
Get
Any?
a darker guy to play Bengali
Huh.
Thanks.
You like to dress up, don't you? Like
I
you
love
like
dressing
putting
up
the
in all
the.
kinda, I can dress up, dress down. I can do anything to make people laugh. I have no shame.
It's kind of sad,
Dedication.
like, so the reason why, so I started playing my mother or my wife or whatever, like, I would love to get actresses in, but like, sometimes they're it's expensive, right? And B, they might not be free, and one of the actresses might have told the other actresses that I'm roaming around with a dead fish. But anyways, but the thing is like, so it's just easier. So it's so sad when I went to Dubai, my wife didn't pack a dupatta. I packed two dupattas for myself because I was like, किसी sponsor का call आ गया तो मुझे video वहाँ दुबई में बनानी होगी तो I better have a dupatta. Like, and I was like, I need different colors. Like, so.
Danish, ये तुम्हारा दुपट्टा यहाँ पे पड़ा है उठा लिया करो ये वाला
Yeah, do you have a stock character female voice to both of you?
It varies from time to time. Like, sometimes I'm inspired by my actual wife if she's shouting at me in a certain way. but like, I guess I can
You're
go
in
high
so much trouble.
Yeah, it's okay.
But what about you? Do you
have
play a
some
lot of
stock-
male characters?
I have this typical, Karachi ka लौंडा अबे ऐ क्या जा रही है जानी चल आजा यहाँ चलते हैं हम चल chicken piece. So it's fun, and then my go-to name is always Ghafoor. I don't know why, and especially in my troupe also, we're all female comedy troupe, and every guy is Ghafoor. Like, Abhay, Ghafoor kya kar raha hai? And we're like, why are we obsessed with Ghafoor? Who is Ghafoor? So there are these stock characters, ko naam bhi wohi hota hai. It's not even about the sound of the voice or whatever, like naam bhi wohi, we stick to those. So I have this Ghafoor, every guy is Ghafoor. Abhay Ghafoor, main bhi Ghafoor, you bhi Ghafoor, everybody's Ghafoor. I don't know why, it's just there, just typical Karachi londa. Yeah.
Okay, any more stock characters that you want them to think about and play, or anyone? Hello? Lady? Chilla.
Taylor.
Okay.
Taylor. अच्छा, ठीक है, ladies Taylor.
Taylor. Acha, sorry, Taylor.
I know, I like how you're all looking at me. He also pointed at me.
Yeah,
Like,
it's for you.
यही लग रहा है
Ladies Taylor.
हम लोग करते
ऐसे ही
हैं.
होते हैं
Yeah.
जो नाप बहुत uncomfortably close से लेते हैं
Yeah. And every time.
अजीब जगहों का नाप ले रहा है ना ज़ुबान का नाप ले रहा है
And every time you go, you're like, बाजी मोटी हो गई हैं आप, वजन बढ़ा लिया है आपने. एक हफ्ते पहले तो 25 इंच था, अब 26 इंच हो गया. Like, they will know every inch of your body. Like, why? It's so uncomfortable. Why do you know about my weight more than me?
Talking of your body, Amtul, sorry, that's a segue, but you got into trouble recently with exposing your shoulders.
Yeah.
What was that
very
like?
fahashi, you know, very fahashi. Am I saying the same word, the right word? Fahashi होता है ना? Fahashat फैला रहे हैं, yeah, very fahashi.
But was that, I mean, but you fought back on that, and you have to
it
fight
was,
back.
Yeah, I was very uncomfortable, honestly, like, and ये होता रहता है, मतलब, which is not okay, and that's why I raised my voice against it, कि भाई ये क्या है? So I was called to a morning show, and you know, like, there's a style, but the sleeves are full, but you know, there's like these holes over here, like, बताने में बहुत funny लग रहा है, but yeah, it's a fashion, right? So like, my
I've worn it,
shoulders
yeah.
were like cut out. So I went to the show and everything, and they didn't give me any guidelines for before or anything. कि भाई ये कपड़े पहनने, ये नहीं पहनने. I went and like pants and shirt, and the shirt has these shoulder cuts in it, and I'm there, and they're like, oh my God, you have to cover your shoulders, and I'm like, why? What happened? क्या हुआ? मतलब they're like, no, you can't go on air like that, and this and that. Oh, don't you have a scarf or anything? And I'm like, no, like I wasn't given any instructions, कुछ भी नहीं बताया पहले से. And then they literally, you know what they made me do? They like अपने बाल ना यूं रख के बैठे हैं आप. And then मैंने interview यूं दिया, like, and I'm like, ये क्या हो रहा है मेरे साथ? They like अपने बाल से छुपा ले, and then I'm sitting like this with hair all over my shoulders. But you know, it's so weird, मतलब क्योंकि यही है कि लड़की के कपड़ों के आगे बात जाती नहीं है. कभी कभी हमारे माशरे में ये होता है कि बस यहीं पर अटक जाएंगे. जो मैं बोल रही हूँ, जो मैं बात कर रही हूँ, that's not important, but what I'm wearing is way more important,
Yeah.
right? तो मैंने फिर इस बारे में स्टोरीज ही बनाई, like on my social media, on my Instagram and everything, कि this is not okay. अगर पहली बात अगर आपको इतना ही प्रॉब्लम है, then you send a proper like SOP, a list, guidelines कि okay, this is a TV channel that we're running and we have some, you know, चीज़ें जो आपको follow करनी चाहिए. Whoever is comfortable with following them, they can, and whoever is not, cannot, because मेरे साथ बहुत दफ़ा ये है कि whenever brands approach me, they like, oh, you have to wear this, you have to be this way, and if I'm not comfortable with it, then at least I have the choice to say no. Okay, this is not who I am. But you can't just call somebody on the spot and be like, actually आपके shoulders बहुत हमें ना trigger कर रहे हैं. And then what do? You're like, it's a live show, and you're like, okay, I guess I'll just do this. So that was really uncomfortable and very weird.
And George, you've been in TV. काफ़ी अरसे से आप TV कर रहे हो पाकिस्तान में, तो आप बताएं कि ये मुझे लगता है नई चीज़ हो गई है. Like बीच में like एक तो ज़्यादा वाला टाइम था ना TV वाला, जिसमें आप लेट भी नहीं सकते थे चारपाई पे किसी, हाँ वो 50-50 या ये जो ड्रामे होते हैं वो खड़ी होके चारपाई खड़ी करते थे और साथ खड़े होके और शूट ऐसा किया जाता था कि लगता था कि वो लेटे हुए हैं. और फिर बीच में आई फील लाइक टीवी थोड़ा सही हो गया था, इतना मतलब इतना कंजर्वेटिव नहीं था. बट आई फील लाइक ये चीज़ें अब फिर से होनी शुरू हो गई. डू यू एग्री और नॉट, George?
Do I agree? What, sir?
You know these
George is still thinking about the charpai. He's like, what?
I'm on the charpai.
like
I think आपने audience के लिए उर्दू में बोल लिया होगा. He
Back to
doesn't.
the Zia era, basically becoming more conservative.
But no, I think there's two things going on. I think that there is social media where anything goes, and you have television that has gone back. Because when I first came to Pakistan, when Musharraf had liberalized the media, it was, you know, we had Begum Nawazish Ali, we had shows like that, we had, you know, creative shows that poked fun, that satirized, show I did called News, Views and Confused. And now a four-man show, your show,
Real News,
The Real News with Danish Ali. These are the shows that were on there, but that has all left pretty much from television and now moved onto social media.
Yeah.
And I think media has become, the mainstream media has become much more conservative.
Yeah.
Okay, any more stock characters or scenarios that you want them to think about? Yes, the gentleman at with the cap, yeah. I think a mic's coming to you now.
First of all, hello to three of you. So the thing is, basically, I just released my original song recently.
Could you speak up?
Yeah.
louder.
Sorry, we couldn't hear you.
Okay, so is it audible now?
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, the thing is, to play the character of Dhobi or maybe talking about petrol, sort of things is quite easy. But in my life, the stage that I'm experiencing right now, I just released my original song recently, and I'm not getting any sort of views. So although I'm working on other songs as well, so how would I just need your help? Like, how can I add humor in my life? Like, how can I think this situation and go through this process right now.
Okay,
So how would you
we're going to ask questions later. Sorry, we'll be coming back. I'll come back to you. We're going to ask questions for the panel in 5 minutes, 10 minutes. But
yeah, sure.
now I just want a stock character
But
or...
it's basically a scenario of a struggling artist.
Okay, in scenario of instructing an artist. How would you make a video on that? A struggling artist.
Yeah, such a...
Well, like in my video Rishte Ka Sauda, I was like, artist ko to free mein le lo. It was, that's what it was. Like, so you can make fun of yourself that way. कि artist की कदर कम होती है. तो उस पे अगर struggling है, oh my god, वो तो फिर literally aunties would spontaneously combust. अगर struggling artist, oh my god. So, but खैर, I don't know, just something like that.
But obviously, with the struggling component of that is you have to make money to doing what you're doing, and you can't just make it really through social media advertising, from YouTube advertising and Facebook advertising. You often have to have brands incorporated. Are there any brands you've refused to work with? One. Two, are there any brands who, having wanted to hire you, then refused to hire you?
Many.
Two, because of what you pitched to them.
Well, because I'm an artist who can own, I pay rent because of sponsors. ठीक है ना? That's just the truth of it. I have a wife to support and a German Shepherd to support. वो बहुत खाना खाता है.
I don't think you'll have a wife to support after this. Don't worry.
No, it's okay. So the thing is, I will mostly agree to every sponsor, but once or twice there's something, because a lot of children watch my videos. So once there was a company that, you know, it's a device that a man and a woman use so they can't have babies. मैं मुझे शर्म आ रही है कहते हुए. So yeah, so I refused that just because I felt like maybe some people get offended. So anything that I feel can no longer be family friendly, I refuse that brand just because I want the video के सब देखें. मेरा, it's not the same for everybody here, but मेरा goal होता है कि घर में जो सबसे aged दादी हैं वो भी देखें और जो 5 साल का बच्चा है वो भी साथ देखें. But नहीं, but you know, this is it's something के लाज़मी नहीं है कि सब ऐसे करें ना. मतलब it's also good when other artists don't do that, but
yeah, because somebody has to talk about those difficult topics and difficult products. So I think, yeah, everybody chooses their own way, right? So like, as Danish said, I actually agreed to work with that product that you're saying. I'm actually working with them because I'm like, yeah, if
अच्छे पैसे मिले.
हाँ अच्छे खासे थे. So you know, because मैं ये सोचती हूँ कि अगर मैं नहीं करूँगी तो फिर कौन करेगा, right? Or like, or I feel like यार इस बारे में भी बात होनी चाहिए. You know, that's fine. Some people are not comfortable doing it, but I'm comfortable, so that's okay. I can do it. And then your question कि the brands that wanted to work with you and didn't work with you, ये बहुत होता है. ये इतना होता है कि मैं बता नहीं सकती. एक दफ़ा तो a lawn brand came to me and they were like, we love who you are and we love the way you talk and you communicate and your content. मतलब हमेशा ये होता है ना, दूर से उनको बहुत ही sparkly लग रहा होगा, they love you and you know, and when you actually work with them and they're like, नहीं, ये तो too different हो गया है. No, ये नहीं चाहिए था. You know, आप वही करें जो हम चाहते हैं. So this happened, a lawn brand came to me and then I made something for them and I said that, you know, I don't want to talk directly about lawn. I want to talk about like how your clothes are giving women power, you know, like how your clothes are powerful and like make it something more meaningful than just fashion. I was like, I don't want to just come and just चुटकी बजा के अपने कपड़े बदलूं मैं, जो हम सबको पता है आजकल बहुत चल रहा है और लोग देखते भी हैं, you know. But I was like, I don't want to do that. I want to give it a deeper meaning. So I wrote them a whole concept about power, about powerful women and how your clothes, their brand's clothes are giving us power and everything. And they were like, ये तो बहुत bold हो गया है. It's too bold. It's too out there. Sorry, we don't want it. I made the video, everything, edit, सब कुछ grade होके दे दी, and they were like, actually वो जो है ना हमारी upper management जो है ना उनको समझ में नहीं आई.
Bold pics थी हो गई.
Yeah, it's too bold, you know. बहुत bold हो गया ये तो. And
I remember one of the telecos called me for a live show and ठीक है, very good. मैं गया, अच्छा दानिश तुम time पे आ गए उस show में, you know, I think बेगम नवाजिश भी थी right after me. And so he's like, oh दानिश आ गए, दानिश go up on stage. मैंने देखा भी नहीं कि audience में कौन है, उन्होंने mic पकड़ाया. मैं कहा मैं गया हूँ stage पे, जैसे आप लोग सब बैठे हैं ना, यहाँ 200 Chinese people बैठे हुए थे जिनको ना एक लफ्ज़ English का आता था ना उर्दू का आता था. And I was expected to entertain them for an hour. So obviously when I started doing my stand-up comedy jokes, I didn't know Chinese. ना उनको इंग्लिश आती थी ना उर्दू आती थी, so I didn't know what to do. तो I thought अच्छा मैं crowd work करता हूँ. तो जैसे आप बैठे हैं पहले I was like I'll just talk to there was a lady in the audience. I was like, you miss, what's your name? And she replied, yes. Like, so that's what all that happened for 30 minutes, and then because they just spoke business English na, like and then they called me back the teleco, and so when I said no मैं नहीं आऊँगा, तो I got a huge lecture कि how can you refuse business and आप नहीं कैसे, how can you say no, and
पैसे को ना बोल रहे हैं कैसे, ब्रांड को ना बोल रहे हैं, you're like भाई my values matter more, you know.
तो नहीं, it wasn't, I wish it was about values. They didn't even could understand the word values ना, तो मतलब मैं बोलता क्या जाके, मतलब
एक्सप्रेशन अच्छे लगे उनको, उन्होंने बोला ये इसके जैसे एक्सप्रेशन
कुछ ना कुछ कर लिया.
yeah, and I guess the only lesson I learned from this is maybe I should learn Chinese, but I mean,
Mandarin.
Yes.
But I want to add to it too, like as you said, कि when do you say no to brands? Like for me, creative freedom and creative liberty is very, very important. So I think a lot of times when I get a very strict script कि यही बोलना है, यही follow करना है, आप बोले, oh ये क्या चीज़ है, अरे ये नई चीज़ आई है, oh मैं use करके देखती हूँ, and I was like, नहीं मैं ऐसे नहीं कर सकती content where it's like all scripted and you know, so you have to say no. Like I've said no a lot of times when they don't let me do what I believe in, how I want to integrate their product.
Arey, I'm now remembering I did do the launch for Parktel, and I was very proud of it because I was on billboards and buses, and in a week Parktel was bought by Zong, so I tanked the company. So in case there's anybody who wants their company tanked, you can hire me for the billboard. I was quite proud of that. Thank you. Like,
Okay, well, we're going to open up to questions now. Yes, this gentleman here.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Mashood. I'm a Wapistani. I returned from Australia back to Pakistan to marry my cousin 2 days before Cousin Dozen dropped. So it was a bit late for me. Lekin, your responsibility to try and sort of shift or at least comment on social issues. Obviously, Amtul, that's something that you do intrinsically. That's why you wanted to get into it. But at what point did you guys realize that having an impact, maybe shifting mindset, having an effect on culture was something that you now have a responsibility for? Is it something that you want? Is it something that you wanted to achieve, or is it a byproduct?
I think when I made my first ever video or song, Moderator Beta, I was just trying to mock a character I saw growing up in society. But then afterwards I understood the impact of it, because suddenly there were Moderator Betas around who were kind of embarrassed about their behavior because they were called out in a song. So people were sharing that song with them, and I would meet some of them and they'd be angry at me. And that kind of showed me that, okay, so if I'm doing this kind of work, then it's going to impact people, and some people will like it, most people will like it, and some people won't. And so the people-pleasing side of you kind of gets hurt when people don't like it, because as an entertainer, you just want to make people happy, and that's how you become happy. And so, but you have to decide, okay, I have to again stay true to myself and do whatever I want and not compromise on that. I feel like the good thing with me is that I've never held back. If I want to say something, I say it in my own work. And then I can also sell candy and make a living, you know. So it's one for the soul and one for the stomach, and so you kind of balance it out, so that way you don't have to compromise on your integrity as an artist.
Yeah, like you spoke about responsibility, right? Like, do you sign up for it, or is it a byproduct? So for me, it was a byproduct, honestly, because a lot of times you just start off with the passion only. या आपको किसी चीज़ का शौक होता है, या आपको किसी चीज़ के बारे में बात करनी होती है, जो भी होता है, you want to put, you have a talent, you want to put it out there. It could be any motivating factor. So a lot of times that motivation is not driven by कि oh मुझे सबको कुछ सिखाना है, awareness फैलानी है, community building करनी, responsibility चाहिए. A lot of times it's not driven by that, and mine for sure wasn't. It was very talent driven कि oh मुझे इस चीज़ का शौक है, मुझे करना है. But then as you keep growing, the responsibility keeps coming in, right? People start putting you on this pedestal and they're like, आपको सही चीज़ बोलनी है और सही वक्त पे बोलनी है और हर चीज़ के बारे में बात करनी है. And a lot of times that pressure builds. You're like, okay, मैं किस चीज़ों के बारे में बात कर सकती हूँ, right? Like दुनिया में इतना कुछ हो रहा है. You know, you talk about animal rights, other people are like, oh, what about women rights? Talk about women rights, people are like, oh, what about the weather conditions and the climate change and everything? Talk about that. Like people will keep, you know, dragging you in different directions, and you have to choose, okay, where do I stand? You have to remind yourself, okay, I can't talk about everything, but okay, like this is something that I'm passionate about, so okay, I'm going to talk about that, and that will be my motive, and I'll take responsibility in this area. So with me also, with time, I realized, okay, I can't take responsibility for everything, and I think people also need to understand that we're also human beings at the end. We don't have the knowledge about everything. We're not aware about everything. मुझे सब कुछ नहीं पता कि इस वक्त दुनिया में क्या चल रहा है, right? But then you choose, okay, this is what I stand for, and I will make sure कि इसके लिए मैं जो कुछ कर सकती हूँ मैं करूँगी, right? So you have to kind of like balance it out like that.
I think also, if I heard correctly, you just got married. So let's give him a round of applause, though.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, congratulations. I hope you have a wonderful life. And, yeah, that's great. So I don't make comedy for any sort of जो message होता है ना कि पैगाम हो या I wish मैं इतना intellectual होता कि मैं पहले कोई message सोचूं फिर करूं, but really for me it's just viciously about what's funny. तो if I find it funny I make it, और फिर बाद में सोचता हूँ अच्छा मैंने शायद कुछ अक्लमंदी की बात कर ली हो, और कभी-कभी बहुत बेवकूफ़ी की बात भी करता हूँ, जो भी मैं फ़ख्र से वो भी absorb कर लेता हूँ.
Great. I think we have time for one more question. Yes, the gentleman there.
Hi, I have one question for each of the panelists, and I'll make it quick. Amtul, I couldn't catch trails before whatever happened to the Z platform happened. So, whatever production company or cast or crew you're involved with, have you guys considered selling it to Netflix or someplace where it can reach Pakistan? Danish, I want to ask you, I really miss the real news. Is there any possibility it can come back in some way or another? Really, really miss it. And Ali, I loved Vadere Ka Beta, and I wonder what happened to Vital Signs. As a singer, what is like the technical, analytic, whatever it is, that decides what is a top 10 song in Pakistan? Because we don't have the billboards here, so how is it decided that like a song is like popular, and how would a song be, if, now that the music channels are gone, how would a song be popularized in Pakistan besides social media?
Oh.
So these are
You see, this man was organized.
Yeah, he
had
was
a
organized.
question for
I
everybody.
think
Under 60 seconds, 3 questions.
I think he was probably the guy that wrote to you on your social media earlier. So yeah, 30 seconds.
Seriously, please leave your CV. You look very organized.
30-second responses each.
Okay,
Ali.
so you look at Spotify. Now we have Spotify in Pakistan, और बहुत सारे distributors आपका music, Apple Music, हर जगह गाना सारे इन platforms पे लगाते हैं. So you get figures from there or your views. But yeah, music up, it's easier to make money through it compared to like 5 years back.
Danish, real news coming back.
The real news was created by Saad Haroon, who was my mentor. So the real news cannot come back without Saad Haroon. If Saad and me, abhi tak to we just collaborate over kadhai, because I'm at house and hum bas wo nihari kadhai burger kha rahe hote hain. So if we ever manage to work, then it'll come back. And who knows? I'm for now for TV, just for me, it's just dramas. I might enter the drama industry and be another horrible actor. So I look forward.
Thank you. And Amtul, churels kahan hai?
Yeah, so it's really sad that Z का वो सिलसिला पूरा चलता रहता है, but I think YouTube पे we only have 4 episodes up till now, 4 to 5. बाकी का 4 ना, yeah 4. बाकी का मुझे नहीं पता. I'm sorry.
Okay, so thank you very much. Before we end, I want to create a social media video of our own. So I'm gonna, I think if we can all stand up, hold on, and then and what we're gonna do is we're gonna flip the camera. I'm gonna turn around. Hold on. We'll start of this, and then I want everyone to cheer. Okay, so. Oh. Anna. Okay, I'll get on my knees. Okay, how about that? Okay.
इसके साथ ऐसे लगता है I'm like your son or something.
Yeah.
Like
Right, Assalamu alaikum everybody. I'm here at the Karachi Literature Festival with Amtul Bajwa, Danish Ali, and... Way! Great, thank you.
Do you guys all consent
Okay,
to be
so
in my
I would-
YouTube video?
I would just like to thank our accountant from Adam D Insurance, Mr. Ali Gulbir, Mr. Danish Ali, big round of applause, and General Bajwa, sorry, Amtul Baweja.
Thank you to our amazing stars for such an entertaining session. Thank you for being with us today.